Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Steelbook Obsessed. My name is Jake, and welcome to New Release Roundup number 22. Yes, I've been doing these for a while now. I have over 50 physical media titles that I'm going to go over. Some of these titles have multiple movies in them. We've got 3 box sets to talk about, 4 box sets, a lot of goodies. Here's stack number 1, and then I'm able to do stack 2 and 3 and kind of line them up very, very nicely and see if I can pick them up without spilling them all over. Look at that. Look at that stack, dear Lord. That's because we have a monster of a stack that I will show off on the very end from Arrow Video. But if you like looking at all of these new release titles, make sure you give this video a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you cannot miss any of these new release roundups, because I try to spit these out every couple of weeks. I have movie studios sending me new release titles to spread the word to you. So if you like that type of content, make sure you know where to check it out right here. And first up, very, very random, we're going to start with a VHS tape release. From Dark Sky Selects, we have Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. I have not seen this movie, and in fact, let's see if I can see where this is right away. I can. It's like super right behind me, and I grabbed it. I have the 4K from Turbine of Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, and I have not seen this yet. I haven't watched this yet. So should I watch Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer for the first time on VHS or on 4K? The worst way to watch it or the best way to watch it? I feel like Henry should maybe be super grimy and dirty. My wife is a big fan of like true crime stuff, so I know she's going to want to watch this movie with me. I'm assuming she'll want to watch the 4K. But you never know. You never know with my wife. You never know about life. And it's cool that we're getting new released VHS tapes in the year 2024. It's the VHS resurgence this year, 2024. And it looks like 2025 shows no signs of stopping either. Let's unwrap this bad boy and show you what the VHS looks like. Yes, this is what we are doing here. That's very loud, excuse me. Dark Sky Selects. Boom, 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 boom. Tape. Ooh, it looks like this. That's kind of nice. Great. Is this new VHS stock here? Scotch EG Plus. That looks shiny up top. Shockingly shiny, you might even say. I don't know. I have a VHS collection. I do not have this in the VHS collection, so now I do, but it's always just curious why this is happening. Why people must be buying the VHS tapes. Are they watching the VHS tapes? I know I'm in like the 4K community more often than not. The tape head community can be absolutely insane in all of the right ways, which I absolutely love as well. Yeah, just kind of pick your poison. But next up, talked about Turbine Media with Henry in 4K. Turbine Media also does a great job making media books, and I have 2 doozies to show you right now. First up, we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. They came out with 3 or 4 different versions of every single one of these movies in their media books. I wish that the States came out with more media books, because the media books that I get from Germany, they're gorgeous. I love them. I love the format. I think these are not used enough over here. But when I flip the pages, they're all in German. So I can look at the nice, fun pictures. But if I want to drill down more into what they're actually saying, I have to grab my camera out and kind of just do the translation app, which isn't fun. Nobody really wants to do that. But there are some great behind the scenes pictures in this Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 set. This is a 4K set. I'm assuming they're using the same transfer as the Vinegar Syndrome 4K, but we have the 4K disc on this side. On the other side, we have the Blu-ray of the movie and then a bonus Blu-ray. The Blu-rays are region locked, unfortunately, but if you are just wanting the 4K, this is a good way to do it. They have the J card that was on the back, but I like to show all of this gorgeous artwork. So I just house this inside. Again, cannot read any of this. Got to get the phone and show what the special features are. But then on the backside, it's nice that they actually have the theatrical movie poster. I love that they spoofed The Breakfast Club for this. So nice. But yeah, I just put these on the inside. That's Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. But also on 4K, we have Leatherface. I don't think Leatherface has gotten a 4K release in the States. I want to say this has only been the case in the UK and Germany, but here is the 4K. we span to the back. Here is the Blu-ray. But as you can see, it says Leatherface Uncut on the 4K and Blu-ray. I've never seen Leatherface. Are there versions of Leatherface uncut or unrated that we can grab for ourselves? Leatherface. I know that there was just a Steelbook released for Leatherface, right? Is it within arm's reach? It is. Look at this. It's like I planned all this out, and I did not. The Leatherface Blu-ray from the partnership with Bloody Disgusting and Lionsgate. I don't see anywhere on here. Yeah, this is... I don't know if we've ever got the uncut version out in the States, because this is the rated R version on the most recent release of Leatherface. But I will say, this image right here, I feel like is the main image that people talk about from this movie, because dear Lord, this imagery is all over this release on the back here. You get that same image right over here. I mean, it's striking, don't get me wrong. But again, on the inside, this talks about the entire Texas Chainsaw franchise, and I would read something like this. Normally, I'm not going to spend my time reading any booklet that comes with my physical media, but if you're going to give me just kind of a rundown of the entire franchise in, what, 35, 40 pages, that sounds like a nice hour that I'd like to sink my teeth into a little bit more. I don't know. That sounds very, very interesting to me. But yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Here's the J card that this comes with. And not a movie poster this go around, but a nice, cool image there. But yeah, let me know if Leatherface has had an uncut version in the States, because I'm very, very curious now. I'm gonna be thinking about that for a little bit. Let's see here. On the completely different spectrum, kind of, we have from Troma, Toxic Crusader, the complete series, a Troma Team production. This sucker has, does it say how many episodes are on this? It does not, but there's 301 minutes worth in that entire franchise. We have introductions by Lloyd Kaufman. We have a feature-length documentary about the making of the video game. Random. Okay, the teeth did not work either. Oh man, this video is already going way off course. I want to open this up and showcase off the discs and stuff to you. But I feel like, oh, come on. Okay, maybe I won't do this for every single video here. But I kind of want to see what the discs look like in Toxic Crusader. I still need to watch Toxic Avenger. Ooh, good thing I opened that up. I like how pretty those discs are. I found a whole bunch of Toxic Crusader toys at my local Goodwill about 3-4 years ago. Those suckers go for really good money. It's very surprising. I sold a couple of them. I kept a couple of the ones that I liked, including Toxie. I still have Toxie here. But yeah, just a show that I've wanted to watch, and now thanks to MVD and Troma, I will be able to, which is very, very nice. Here's a movie that's not new. In fact, this is very, very old for New Release Roundup, but I show off everything that I've gathered in my collection in the span of a couple of weeks. A friend of mine is moving. He's keeping all of his Blu-rays and 4Ks, but he's getting rid of all of his DVDs because he did not need them. And normally I do not need them. I try not to pick up any more DVDs, but when I saw that he had this and he was okay with letting this go, I've been on the hunt for this forever and I've wanted to find it in the wild. The DVD of Memento is one I've wanted to sink my teeth into for the longest time. And that is because there's a special cut of the film inside of this as an Easter egg that you have to scroll through and find. I find that very, very fascinating. And the packaging on this DVD, I mean, it goes above and beyond, man. I love it when packaging looks like props from the movie. It's just, this thing is a work of art right here. I tell you what, this looks great. And yeah, I cannot wait to go. I don't know exactly where this is hiding inside of the DVD, but I know that you have to like pass a psychiatric test in order to watch the chronological version. I didn't even go into that. What you unlock is the chronological version of Memento. And you know Memento, if you know anything about Memento, you know it's kind of told in different time periods based off of what the main character kind of remembers going on. But this shows everything from beginning to end, and I find that absolutely fascinating. I recently picked up the 101 Films edition of Memento, the Steelbook set. Looks great, but it didn't have this cut. That's why it always pays to keep physical media alive, folks. because of random things like this. I love the packaging on this so much. Cannot wait to check this sucker out. Next up on the list, let's go over a big beefy box set, shall we? From Imprint Films, we have the remake of Suspiria. I love Imprint Films box sets. They put so much love and care into the movie. I have not seen the original. I have not seen the remake, but the remake has my interest piqued because it is directed by Luca Guadagnino, who has made Call Me By Your Name and Challengers and a whole bunch of great movies. And he's also directed the Suspiria remake, which, you know, I've heard nothing but great things about the Suspiria original, Dario Argento, of course. This is a 4K version of the remake. I wish this box set had the original and the remake. That's like my only gripe in this. I'll show you why this box set is still pretty dang special. On the inside, you just get the 4K. There is no... This is also weird. There's no artwork that you can flip over, but there is like artwork on the inside of here. You can kind of see that, just a jumble of people. I don't know why you would waste your time doing that when it's just a black case and you can't see it when you open it. But to each their own, I guess. It's nice that it's there, right? It's nice that it's there. But then you also get a secondary case that has both the Blu-ray of the film and a bonus Blu-ray just filled with special features. The one that I'm looking forward to watching is the one about Tom York, a video essay on Tom York, the music of Suspiria. Love me some Radiohead with a passion, vivorous love for Tom York in all things Radiohead. So I cannot wait to watch that sucker. Really makes me want to watch this movie as well. And then we also get some character cards. I showed these off in my TikTok unboxing, mail unboxing video. So if you want to see those, you can. You can also see them right here in the corner over here. Again, these come with a J card that do get stuck on here, but I love the size that Imprint do for these because you can just slide them into the box and be absolutely fine. Everything fits in the box so nicely. Again, Imprint. If you don't have any Imprint titles in your life, I feel like you need at least one just to kind of see the high quality that is inside all of their box set releases. Their box sets are second to none in the physical media game. Definitely S tier box sets from Imprint. Next up, let's go over a title that I picked up on the last Vinegar Syndrome sale. And I'm glad I did, because dear Lord, I was on the fence about picking this title up, but it just kept on going down in inventory, down in stock, until it was less than 100 copies. And I'm like, I feel lucky that I found this when it was less than 100 copies. So I'm going to pick it up. It is now time to watch this movie. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians from Agfa and Something Weird. Never seen this movie. I know it's big on Mystery Science Theater 3000 and Riff Tracks and all of that fun stuff. The main reason why I picked this up is because not only does it have Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, it also has other holiday hallucinations. Yes, on the back here, I don't know if you can see that. There are, you know what? I'm going to open this one and hopefully the teethers work. And they normally do. That one didn't work either. Oh no. I don't have my slicer either. This is my nightmare. This is my nightmare. I don't even know. It's like right over there. I'm not grabbing it. I'm doing it live. It's still not working. I'm just embarrassing myself in front of everyone, all the hundreds of people watching on YouTube. Not great. I guess I'm not opening this. Sorry, folks. But we get A Christmas Dream, A Christmas Fantasy, Christmas in Toyland, Christmas Journey, Christmas Tree, The Christmas Visitor, The Liberant, Christmas Special, Merry Christmas, The Night Before Christmas, A Present for Santa Claus, Santa in Animal Land, The Spirit of Christmas, A Visit from St. Nicholas, A Visit to Santa. Something absolutely crazy. I don't know. I love this. And then there is a 60-minute version of the Santa Claus Conquers the Martians drive-in special. I'm assuming that's from Joe Bob Briggs, but I'm not 1,000% sure on that. The slipcover is what was selling out like crazy. I want to say you can still buy this, but there's something about Vinegar Syndrome slipcovers that are just, again, S-tier quality, the highest quality slipcover you possibly can get Normally, I don't care about my slipcovers, but Vinegar Syndrome titles, I care with a passion. So very happy to add this to the collection right here. Speaking of slipcovers, and speaking of a movie that I haven't sunk my teeth into yet in 4K, but I cannot wait to, we have The Terminator, folks. Love this movie. I rewatched it when Terminator Dark Fate came out. I watched the entire franchise. This is my favorite Terminator movie. When I was in my teens, Terminator 2 was by far my favorite over the original. The older I get, the more appreciation I have for this original film, and I cannot wait to watch this on glorious 4K. Can't wait to sink my teeth into some of these special features. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a great time, and I can't wait to do it. I'm already salivating at the mouth on watching this sucker. Almost like it's new again. Cannot wait, cannot wait. You can almost say the same thing about this next release from Second Sight Films and Lionsgate, The Blair Witch Project. A lot of people got the big beefy box set from Second Sight, and when I was just kind of screaming the praises of Imprint Films boxes, I am not the biggest fan of the Second Sight boxes. The artwork looks phenomenal, but the actual container that the discs are housed in, I don't like whatsoever. What I do like are these beefier UK Blu-ray and 4K cases. I think they look very, very nice on the shelf, all uniform like this. And the main reason why I'm getting Second Sight titles, and the main reason why I love Second Sight, is because they come out with amazing transfers. And that's all I want at the end of the day. I just want the discs. Unfortunately, with their Blu-rays, they're always region-free, which stinks. You need to have a region-free player. I only have one of those in the house, and I have not popped this in because of that. And I am dying to. I'm dying to both watch the new festival cut from the Blair Witch Project that has never been seen since it originally was theatrically released. And there's also a full-length documentary on here, which I've heard nothing but glowing things about. And honestly, Planet CHH really makes me want to watch it. He kind of shared how it opens, and that's shocking, and I want to see that right away. I might watch the documentary before I watch this new cut. That's how much I'm a sucker for a documentary, man. And I really like the Blair Witch Project as well. So to see a new cut of that film, yes, very, very excited to. Just need to find the time to, and that seems to be the hardest thing for me to do. Next up, we have a new title from a very, very, very old boutique label. They're coming back from the dead, folks. Anchor Bay Entertainment is back with their first title in close to 10 years, maybe over 10 years. Abruptio. Don't know anything about this, but this slip looks absolutely eerie. It reminds me of the movie Annalisa? Not Annalisa. Is it Annalisa? The movie directed by, oh my God, and I'm blanking on the name. The guy who wrote Charlie Kaufman, right? Charlie Kaufman. Annalisa. I want to say it's what the name is. Or like Lars and the Real Girl is what this kind of reminds me of too. Yes, this movie looks great. Everyone's a puppet. Everyone's a puppet. Les Hackle hates his life. He works a dead-end job, was just dumped by his high-maintenance girlfriend, and still lives with his nagging mom. One night, he discovers a fresh incision behind his neck. His friend, Danny, tells him it's a bomb, that someone has implanted one in his neck, too. And then the messages start coming in, forcing Les to carry out missions with deadly results. Les is partnered up with a series of oddball characters to commit heinous tasks. The violence escalating around him, Les pieces together the clues that reveal the horrific plans to breed a monstrous race of beings. And all of this is told with puppets? Excuse me? That plot sounded bat-shart insane. And just to know that this looks like it's all done with puppeteers. There's an audio commentary with a puppeteer. That has to be the case. Okay, this... I know it's not going to have Team America vibes, but I feel like it's not going to be as like satirical as Team America, but I feel like it's going to go for the gusto like Team America did. And that makes me even more excited to watch Abruptio. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. I'm probably not. Next up, I have a couple of titles from Vinegar Syndrome that I picked up from Facebook Marketplace. I always shout to the mountaintops that you need to look at Facebook Marketplace around you because you never know what you're going to find. I ended up getting a few titles from this person, and I don't know if he wants me to say his name, but he is actually a fan of the channel, which is also crazy that a fan of the YouTube and TikTok and Instagram pages that I have lives close to me. That seems very, very bizarre, but he's trying to slim down his physical media collection. He had 2 Vinegar Syndrome titles I've been wanting for the longest time. First up, Body Melt. I am a sucker for a body horror movie, especially when it's done practically, and Body Melt looks absolutely insane. I will be trying to look for the slipcover for Body Melt here very, very soon. But yeah, we got some Body Melt. Cannot wait to see it, and I love the runtime on this thing. 83 minutes, a solid 83-minute runtime. Let's go. And secondly, a movie that I'm so happy I can finally watch, Fade to Black. I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about this movie. One of Vinegar Syndrome's best releases ever, at least best movies they've ever put out. Fade to Black. Cannot wait to check this sucker out. And I know I'm going to have to swap this over to go with the theatrical artwork, because that theatrical artwork looks phenomenal. Absolutely love it. Yeah. Cannot wait to check it out. Let's go over some Steelbooks now, shall we? I don't think we've talked any Steelbooks. Let's do a couple of them back to back. First up is a movie that is solid. It's a solid Hitchcockian thriller. We have North by Northwest. Love the artwork that is on this Steelbook. Front to back to the inside. Everything here is just screaming class, screaming old school classic 50s movie. Love this thing so much. If you haven't seen North by Northwest, I do recommend it. It's probably one of Alfred Hitchcock's most mainstream movies, because it plays like a blockbuster, even though there weren't a lot of blockbuster movies back in that time. And secondly, I have more Steelbooks in the mix, but the next one I'll talk about is Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. I showed on my social media channels the glow-in-the-dark aspects of this. The Steelbook does not glow in the dark. It is just the slipcover. But it's a very strong glow-in-the-dark essence given off on Beetlejuice and Lydia Dietz right here. Steelbook itself. I wish that they would have put more characters on this Steelbook besides, the main 2 on the front and back. Main gripe, I still think the simplicity here looks very, very nice on this Steelbook. And on the inside, we get a whole bunch of shrunken heads, which is very, very cool. I enjoyed this movie more than I didn't, but I do think that the third act is by far the strongest. So I think it just left me with a good taste in my mouth. The first 2/3 of this movie, setting up a lot of dominoes. And I don't know if I like the way how some of those dominoes fell, but for the most part, I enjoyed more than I didn't. I want to say I gave Beetlejuice a 3.5 out of 5. Next movie we are going to talk about is a movie from Severin in a weird box set, a box set that is very reminiscent of Vinegar Syndrome. Weird is not a bad thing, but weird can definitely describe Scala. I've seen this movie. There's a lot of supplemental materials that you can dig into yourself. On the front, Scala, or the incredibly strange rise and fall of the world's wildest cinema and how it influenced a mixed up generation of weirdos and misfits. And it is pretty much exactly that. I think this is a documentary about a cinema in the UK that was very, very booming and popular in the 70s and 80s, and kind of goes through some movies that were played there, the audiences that came, some traditions that the theater had. I'm a sucker for any movie about a theater. And yeah, this is a very, very fun watch. Knew nothing about Scala before I popped this in. And now I'm upset I never was able to visit Scala, because it sounds like a very, very fun time. What's very cool about this release is that there's 13 hours of extras on this sucker. It's a 3-disc set, and that's because I gotta cover that up. Severin is very they really care about cramming this sucker. It seems like they have an appreciation for Scala, because discs 2 and 3 showcase off some of the movies that were played within the theater. Yes, that is probably what you think it is. That's why I'm covering that up there. And there's a whole bunch of old-time movies. We have short films that are anywhere from like 30 minutes to 90 minutes. I wouldn't call a 90-minute movie short. But yeah, there's just a whole bunch of movies that were played at that theater. There's also a replica ticket stub that comes with it. Love that. And there's also a replica poster of what was handed out. God, I don't know if I can show this either. At least I can't show this part or this part. But a replica poster of what you would find and hang up at your house just to kind of see what movies are playing at the Scala every day and kind of plan your life around that. I kind of miss that. I kind of miss now you can just turn on the TV and stream anything you want. But it was nice when you didn't have that many options and you had to choose, okay, am I going to just watch 4 channels or am I going to go to the theater and watch something I know nothing about? And if you know nothing about Scala, I think you will like it if you are just a fan of cinema and movie going in theaters. This was a blast. I had a fun time with Scala. Next up, speaking of TV shows, this TV show, it's a formula that I absolutely love and I fell in love with ever since I watched it when I was in like middle school. The King of Queens. My arms are getting weary. My back is getting tight. Sitting here in traffic on the Queensboro Bridge tonight. And I don't care, cause all I wanna do is cash my check and drive right home to you. Love this show so much. A spin-off, believe it or not, of Everybody Loves Raymond. Not a lot of people know that, but it is 207 hilarious episodes. They originally had this set on DVD inside of the van that Kevin James drove around. That was always one of my like holy grail pieces, but I didn't want the set on DVD. I wanted it on Blu-ray, and now I have this set. This is the second time that Mill Creek has released this series on Blu-ray, and I am very happy to have this anytime I want to watch it in the collection. Oh man, King of Queens. That's one of those shows that I can just pop on at any time, and I will be happier watching it. I love that show with an absolute passion. Let's go over a couple boutique titles now, shall we? Let's do a little bit of something for everybody. First off, from Synapse Films, we have the Block Island Sound. Honestly, don't know too much about this, but I do know that it is a newer movie. This movie came out in 2020. The Block Island Sound is a modern horror masterpiece. A terrifying story of grief and madness are the quotes that are on the back here. Synapse Films is a boutique label that I don't think gets enough love in the physical media community. Their transfers always are top tier. I feel like they're second sight level transfers. I feel like not enough people know them because they don't release a lot of very famous movies all the time. They do release some horror classics from time to time with Demons 1 and 2, with I just talked about I guess I will talk about here soon the Dario Argento back catalog, but this makes me want to watch that movie just because it was released from Synapse. From Arrow Video, a movie directed by Abel Ferrara. I just watched Bad Lieutenant from Kino Lorber for the first time this year. Woof. What a watch. Powerful, gritty, something I don't really want to watch again, but I am glad that I watched it for the first time. Another movie from him, from Arrow Video, The Addiction, and I'm assuming it's going to be in the same boat content-wise. The mid-90s were a fertile period for the vampire movie. Okay, I did not know this was a vampire movie. Big name stars such as Tom Cruise and Eddie Murphy flocked to genre, as did high-caliber filmmakers like Francis Ford Coppola, veterans Wes Craven, and John Landis, independents, that person, and up-and-comers Quentin Tarantino and Guillermo del Toro. Amid the fangs and crucifixes, Abel Ferrara reunited with his Gangs of New York star Christopher Walken for The Addiction, a distinctly personal take on the creature of the night. Did not know this was a vampire movie at all. makes me more excited to watch it, if I'm being completely honest. Again, this is the original poster artwork that I was able to flip. This artwork is on the flip side as well. Interesting. Okay. Yes. Again, was very blind when it came to The Addiction. Knowing that it's a vampire flick with Christopher Walken, getting more and more excited by the second. Folks. We have a couple titles from Eureka. First up, we have The Sword. Martial arts is a subgenre that I don't know too much about at all. But it's not that I don't want to, it's just that I've always felt overwhelmed to dip my toe into the genre. Martial arts and westerns, I feel the exact same about. I'm just like, there's so many of these, where do I start? Is The Sword a good one to start with? It might be. And Eureka always makes their releases look so top notch. How I was just putting all of you to shame for not digging into more Synapse Films catalog. I need to do the same with Eureka. I feel like that's one that always puts out solid releases, and I never really spend the time I need to with their releases. Another release of theirs, Super Spies and Secret Lies. There are 3 undercover classics from the Shaw Brothers, again, on this release here. And on the flip side, we have the 3 titles, The Golden Buddha, Angel with the Iron Fists, and what is the other one here? The Singing Thief, which is on the back side here. I'm not going to flip this over, but it is cool that all 3 of them kind of have their own original artwork on the release somewhere. This also comes with a booklet talking about all 3 films. Haven't seen any of these, and again, just this genre is one that I need to do a little bit more digging into. But yeah, this is a great looking release from Eureka. Next up, let's go over a movie that I found at my local hobby shop. I put up a video a few days ago about me finding some goodies in the wild. I found a wild Oscilloscope Laboratories release with The Messenger, and I've not seen this movie, but I am a huge fan of character actor Ben Foster. Love when he's actually getting like a lead role here. Love me some Woody Harrelson as well. This movie kind of came and went from my radar when it was originally released. And yeah, when I saw this in the wild with the slipcover for $7.99, could not pass this up because this has the whole shebang treatment. If you don't have, I like Oscilloscope Laboratories as well. They come out with a lot of great releases. And yeah, this material is made out of like a recycled cardboard almost. They Oscilloscope's, one of their missions is to be kind of eco-friendly, and instead of doing those really dumb Blu-ray recycled sign cases that just seem so flimsy, they go out of their way and come out with quality releases like this. Very excited to watch this one as well. Just, need to find time to do so. That I feel like I am a broken record when it comes to that, but love collecting movies, don't have enough time to watch movies, and I'm hoping that I'll have enough movies to watch when I finally have the time to watch them. But here's a movie that I have seen that I absolutely loved, that I already had in the collection, but I did not have this Steelbook. Psycho Goreman PG for short. This is still currently on Amazon.com for $14.99, and at that price, I was gonna double dip, baby. I enjoy this movie. It puts together things that I did not think I was the biggest fan of, like a lot of inspired Power Rangers style fights are in here. Didn't think I was the biggest fan of that, but this movie just throws a whole bunch at the kitchen wall, and it all surprisingly fits together very, very well. Love this movie. Also, just love that this movie got a Steelbook from RLJE Films. I don't know. I wanted to support this release. I really want to see this director's next movie, Frankie Frico is what it is. And that one kind of looks a little bit like a Gremlins type movie. Just a whole bunch of little creatures, puppet creatures. I don't know. The director really caught my attention with Psycho Goreman, so I cannot wait to see what else he has up his sleeve as well. Let's see here. Also on that trip to the local hobby store for me, I found this. Had no idea that Kino Lorber released an animation line. This came out back in 2016, The Ant and the Aardvark. I was also schooled on my video. I had no idea where these interstitials came from. These were different shorts that were on Pink Panther cartoons. So thank you very much. I can't remember your name off the top of my head, but thank you for giving me a brief history lesson on that. There's also 2 documentaries that are loggable on Letterboxd. Love it when that happens. I'll be sinking my teeth into this very, very soon. I also found Prince, Avalanche. David Gordon Green is a director with a very spotty, like a very hit or miss filmography for me. Halloween 2018, the whole trilogy, kills, ends, that stuff. Say what you will. I liked the first one. I really liked Pineapple Express. I thought he was very good with that. I don't know, just, did he direct? No, I'm thinking of Your Highness. David Gordon Green directed Your Highness. I need to figure out what David Gordon Green directed. But I don't know. I love me some Paul Rudd, love me some Emil Hirsch. And yeah, I totally forgot this movie existed until I found it again. And yeah, very excited to watch that. Here is a movie that I did a full movie review for, breakdown of, Hush. Liked this movie quite a bit. If you want to see my, I don't know, 10, 15 minute thoughts on the film and the transfer and the release from Scream Factory, go over there and check it out. But Hush, yeah, very happy to add a streaming movie now in my physical movie collection. Very, very nice. That last Vinegar Syndrome sale, when I went and picked up Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, I also picked up Hitman Heart Wrestling with Shadows. Love this documentary so much. Probably the best documentary ever made on pro wrestling, just because of what it covers, and it had no idea what it was covering, and it was shot outside of the WWE/F bubble. I don't know. This just captures a moment in time so perfectly. Feels like we're not supposed to be watching what we are watching. If you are a fan of wrestling at all and you have not seen Wrestling with Shadows, super, super recommend it like crazy. A lot of good special features on here as well that I cannot wait to check out. Yeah, Hitman Heart Wrestling with Shadows, baby. Man, should we dig into this? Yes, we should. I think we should. This giant box set that I've actually watched a few movies out of already from Severin Films. This thing is a sucker, man. This is a huge, huge weighty release. All the Haunts BRs, Volume 2. There are so many goodies hiding within this box set. It's a little daunting. It's a little like, where do I even start here? But I'm glad I started with the movies that I started with. And let's see. First one I watched, Psychomania, on here, because it combines zombies and bikers into one. And this movie is a blast. I had a very fun time with this. I've ranked it with all the other zombie movies that I've watched, even though it's kind of cheap. It's not zombies like you think of, but they are, in fact, zombies. So that's what I don't know, a very, very bonkers film that I enjoyed with a passion. Next up, I'm trying to find it here. There are so many releases, and the 3 that I've watched, I have not hated any of them, which is always a good sign. I love that a lot of these have short films from the directors of some of these films. Here's another. I'm trying to show you every single page here while I'm also looking for movies that I've watched. Here's another one that I've watched. Susanna, the Queen of Black Magic. It's a documentary about Susanna, who, again, I knew nothing about, and I'm always a fan when I get to watch documentaries about something I know nothing about and become a fan of the person I'm watching by the end. Susanna is another option for this for me now, an example, because she lived one hell of a life. My God, did not know any of her filmography, of course, and a couple of her movies are in this set, which is very, very nice. But the third act of this documentary and the third act of her life gets into like soap opera-ish territory, and was also very, very entertained by that as well. Almost to the last movie that I watched in this set, and that is a stop motion animation movie right here, Blood Tea and Red String. very David Lynchian. So if that's your cup of tea, I recommend. Not really my cup of tea. I like to have some story with my substance, and if there's no real narrative to go about, you gotta strike against you. But I will say that the visuals for this stop motion animated movie are very unique and are still kind of stuck in my head to this day. So that has to mean something. I gave it a 3 out of 5 just for that fact, and it's a pretty quick watch as well. The discs on this sucker, you can go like this for a while. They're not going to fall out. I feel like Severin has the best box sets, like a book box set in the game right now. They also came out with the Game of Clones that has a similar style packaging that I do really appreciate and like. This book, or this release, also comes with a huge book. A huge released book. I love the little touches on the back. A little Severin book. It has a whole bunch of folk horror stories. There we go. Tongue twister there, I guess. Did not think it would be. Just, yeah, whole bunch of short stories. Very, very fun. Get yourself by a campfire. Tell a bunch of these. Here's a table of contents with some of the short stories in here. It's just nice to have something like this in a collection like this. Definitely different than reading about making of movies and stuff. And then you also have a book. If you don't want to open up this big book, you can thumb through here and kind of get some more information on the movies that are inside of that book. So very, very nice touch on here as well. Again, this box set is so daunting, but if you want to get like the most bang for your buck and you like the folk horror subgenre, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with this box set, in my opinion. Now let's go through a bunch of Kino Lorber titles, shall we? Because I have a lot to show. I'm trying to gather as many of them as I possibly can here so we can go kind of quickly through them, because I'm probably halfway done with the releases that I have, and we've already been recording for a very long time. So, the newest entry in the Kino Cult line, we have number 1 of the Secret Service. I was going to say Doctor 1. It's not. It's number 1 of the Secret Service. Fun fact, I just talked about Psychomania. The main star of that movie is the 007 ripoff in this movie. So that makes me a little intrigued to go and check this sucker out. We also have the 4K release of William Friedkin's Bug. Love this movie with a passion. I don't think it gets talked about enough. And I'm glad that it's getting its spot in the sun again because Kino Lorber's putting it out on 4K. Very, very psychological happenings are going on here. And I don't really want to spoil a lot with that movie, but Michael Shannon will make you feel things. And yeah, another character actor that I absolutely love. Another William Friedkin movie. This time I have not seen it. The Hunted, Tommy Lee Jones, Benicio del Toro. If you've seen it, let me know in the comments, because it does look very, very intriguing. The rest of these I don't think I've seen. Yes, I have not. We have 1, 2, 3 from Billy Wilder. Don't know too much about this movie, but I have heard good things from people that have seen it. Just, yeah, classic movies. Again, another subgenre that I need to dip my toe into a little bit more. The Martian Chronicles, right here. This was a TV series from 1980. 3 episodes make up The Martian Chronicles, and there's audio commentary for each and every one of them. Interview with an actor. 293 minutes is what that runtime is. That's a big beefy set for you all. Harrison's Flowers, watched the trailer for this. I'm like, oh my god, this seems like a tearjerker, and I'm not one to really cry when I'm watching movies, but this one was like, this seems like some very dramatic stuff. So yes, if you are a fan of getting the Kleenexes when you're watching the film, Harrison's Flowers will definitely fit the bill. And then Revenge of the Zombies from 1943. I know I have not seen a zombies movie based in the 40s. That's why I kind of wanted to ask for a review copy of this so I can finally check that sucker out as well. Next up, the last movie that I picked up out in the wild in my latest video was Phenomena on 4K. I already have the Blu-ray Steelbook for this movie, but I haven't seen it yet. And if I'm gonna watch it, I should watch it in 4K. I just told you how the Synapse Films transfers look and how great they are. I saw this. It was $22.99, I believe. Couldn't pass it up at that price. Phenomena. Right there. Here is another movie that I picked up that I didn't think I had, but I actually do have. I just don't have it with the slipcover, so I guess it's kind of an upgrade. Steve Jobs. I thought I had the Ashton Kutcher Jobs. No, I had this movie, which is good because I love this movie. I think this movie is great. Tells the story of Steve Jobs in 3 acts of his life. Like before Apple was really ready to launch, before the launch of the iPhone, and before the launch of the iMac or something like that. Just a very cool way to tell a story about a giant, you know. And if you haven't seen this movie, super recommend. Directed by Danny Boyle, screenplay by Aaron Sorkin. You know, chocolate and peanut butter combination right there. We have the Steelbook for House of the Dragon Season 2. I like how this comes with character cards. I wish that the character cards would fit inside of the Steelbook. That's one of the reasons why I haven't opened it yet. Because I don't know what you do with the character cards once you open them up. You're not going to keep this the way it is. It's just going to make a mess when you're putting it on your shelf. I wish these would have fit inside the Steelbook. That's one weird gripe to have, but I feel like a justified one. Very justified gripe. I have not seen any of House of the Dragon yet. I'm one of the people who watched Game of Thrones and tapped out pretty early. Watched season 1, enjoyed what I watched. Got halfway through season 2 and I was snoozing, so I gave up. More power to you if you love Game of Thrones, if you love House of the Dragon. Just not for me, and I've heard that it doesn't end that great, so who's laughing now? You're probably laughing at me. That's fine. Dune Part 2. I already have this movie on 4K, so I don't know if I'm going to keep this Steelbook, if I'm going to give it away on the channel. Stay tuned. Yeah. Love me some Dune Part 2. I feel like with the first movie and this movie, the last hour of Dune Part 2 is so good. It justifies the 4 hours that were before that last hour of this film, just with all of the payoffs that happen within that last hour. One of my favorite movie-going experiences of this year. Next up, I gotta show this off. Oh my god. We have Alien, Romulus, 4K, Steelbook, right here. Was I the biggest fan of this movie when it originally came out? No, I wasn't. In fact, I didn't like this movie that much. But I will say, I know they're coming out with a sequel for this movie. Sometimes when you watch films, you just don't know if you're in the right mindset to really go into watching a movie. And I always like to give movies a second chance, especially like if they're in a franchise that I really like and a director that I really like. Like this movie should have been a home run for me, and it just didn't click the first time around. I'm hoping with the second watch, it'll get a little bit better. And yeah, this Steelbook is beautiful, folks. Speaking of beautiful, and I will go over this very quickly. I'll cover some bits too. I'll tell you the only reason why I got hardwood. That is because they are adult features by Ed Wood. I did not know that B-movie director, super duper himself, Ed Wood, came out with any erotic stuff. That seems very odd to me. I gotta cover up all the pictures over here too. This is smut. Don't get me wrong. Smut is good for some people. Don't really have a lot of physical media of it at all. But I do love how there are random comedians. Bobcat Goldthwait and Dana Gould go into these movies and they're not really commentaries even. They're just like filmed and they talk about for like 10-15 minutes what these movies are about. Sounds crazy. And I love both of those comics so much that seeing Ed Wood and seeing those two on here made me want to grab this release. Very weird. Very weird talking about that stuff over here, but I digress. Next up, another Steelbook. We've got Galaxy Quest here, folks. Tim Allen, Alan Rickman, Sigourney Weaver, Justin Long, I believe. It took me so long to watch this movie. And in fact, I think I watched it for the first time last year. This movie's phenomenal, folks. I'm not even the biggest like sci-fi fan, not especially like Star Wars, Star Trek that it's trying to spoof. But my God, this movie's great. And I had no idea about this release or the artwork that was on here. This artwork, truly, truly stunning. I mean, dear Lord, that looks so good. And I'm very happy that a movie like this is again getting its time in the sun, because I hear nobody talking about Galaxy Quest. And Galaxy Quest is an absolute blast. Fun for the whole family. If you've not seen it, highly recommend it. And I cannot wait to watch this sucker for the first time on glorious 4K. Next up, from Kino Lorber and Shout Studios, a dual boutique label combo. We have Daydream Revolution. John Lennon, Yoko Ono took over a talk show, a daytime talk show, and this kind of documents what happened during that. I knew nothing about this. Again, I'm a sucker for a documentary about subject matter that intrigues me, but I know nothing about. I'll be checking this out very, very soon. We also have, in that same boat with documentaries, we have Scala. The people who made this movie asked me to help promote it, and after watching the trailer, I'm like, yes, I absolutely will, because it's about it's a Ukrainian restaurant that's famous in New York, and it talks about the struggles that they've had the past 4 years, going through COVID, going through the war currently going on in the Ukraine, and yeah, it just sounded very, very captivating to me, and yes, of course, I'm going to help promote releases like this. Next up, totally different. I guess Synapse Films. Is this Synapse Films? It's not. It's Highway Entertainment. Why did I think this is Synapse Films? MVD sent me this. The Climate According to AI, Al Gore. Very, very random. I'll be honest with the MVD. I'm never going to watch this. I, in fact, made fun of AI Al Gore in the video that was sent to me because of this. Just weird stuff. If you want this, let me know. I will send this. I will send AI Al Gore your way pronto. We also have The Killer's Game. We have two different releases from Lionsgate. We have the slipcover version and we have the Steelbook version. This is a movie that I did not go see in theaters. I want to say Lionsgate has not had a movie this year in theaters gross over $50 million. And they've released 7-8 movies in theaters. That's not good. And I love Lionsgate, and I want to keep them going and growing for as long as they possibly can. They just launched their Lionsgate Limited website that I think is a great idea. I came out with a video there if you want to look at that. But I just love their originality when it comes to physical media, and I want their movies to do good because I want to have great physical media for great movies. I'm a sucker for Batista. I also love that Drew McIntyre is making an appearance in this movie as one of the assassins. That's enough to sign me up to get on board to watch this movie. Hopefully I will by the end of the year, and you will see a review on my movie log. But there are both of the Killer's Game releases. Another action movie. This time, this is the latest edition of the MVD Rewind Collection. We have Men at War. Don't know too much about this at all. Dolph Lundgren. I love the MVD Rewind Collection. I think it looks very, very nice, very reminiscent of the old school movie rental stores. And this would be a title that you would find on those shelves. Quickly going over The Forge. Got this sent over from Sony Pictures. Don't know anything about The Forge, so I have nothing to talk about The Forge, but it's out. Okay, so we have 4 more Steelbooks to talk about, and then the big boy box set of this video. First Steelbook, we've got Blazing Saddles, a movie that I have not seen yet. I know, I'm sorry. I know, I will be watching it probably in January or February. December is dedicated to holiday films, and I have a lot of those to catch up on as well. But I've heard nothing but great things about Blazing Saddles, and I know that it can't be made today. I want to know why that's the case for myself. Next up, we have the 4K Steelbook of 300. Simple yet striking Steelbooks are designs that I appreciate quite a bit, and I love this artwork a lot. On the inside, we got some more great simple artwork as well. Have not seen 300 in a very, very long time, but I feel like 4K is the format that this movie was destined to be released on, for sure. Next up, we have Elvis, a movie that I thought was fine. It was a very solid watch throughout. I thought Austin Butler's performance was stunning. I thought Tom Hanks's performance was cringe-inducing at times. But overall, I enjoyed this movie. Elvis. Oh. And last for the Steelbooks, I have The Crow from Lionsgate. Once again, a movie that did not do well at the box office, that I've heard very mixed things about. But I will say, Lionsgate and their Steelbooks, man, they've got some aces up their sleeve. And I don't know if you can see the embossing and debossing on this like Illuminati style symbol. Had no idea that was there. And as soon as I took the slipcover off of the Steelbook, I'm like, dang, that looks nice. That looks great. Because other studios wouldn't do that. Lionsgate is going to randomly throw it on a slipcover when it's hiding. The slipcover is hiding that release from the public when you're trying to buy it. Oh, Lionsgate, you crazy. And I love you. And last but not least, from Arrow Video, we have Volume 3 of ShawScope. This thing is a monster. I had Volume 1, and I want to say I gave it to a friend. Kind of regretting that, because this would go great along there with it. Again, just the martial arts thing, like I said. I have a couple friends who are big into martial arts that would get more out of this release than I would. But this has the book-style packaging. Kind of cool. If you love martial arts, this would look great on the shelf. A great just talking piece with people. I love the originality of just the packaging of this. I feel like the discs aren't going to move out, even though they look a little loose. They are not shaking at all. Very, very cool images on the inside talking about each and every movie here. I'm hoping that I am kind of doing my best showcasing them to you in kind of a quick manner. It also comes with a soundtrack of a lot of ShawScope movies, which is very cool. I don't think Volume 1 had that, if I remember correctly. But it also comes with a nice coffee table book with, you know, more about all of these films that are included in this set. So that's always nice. ShawScope Volume 3. But there you have it. Those are all the movies I'm talking about today. I feel like within the time that this is taken to record, I'm already starting to lose my voice. So I'm hoping that you liked what I had to say about all of these new releases. I continuously get them sent to me from the studios, which I'm always honored to help spread the word on there. I spread the word on short form videos over on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, and here on YouTube every single day. I also like to go over long form just so I can talk a little bit more about them. But if you like that type of content, please give me a follow here. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you. Hiya! Hiya! Congratulations! If you made it this far, you have made it to the after credit scene. Good for you. Give it up for yourself. Give it up. My question for you with all the hi-yahs and stuff, like I've told you, I am a novice when it comes to the martial arts genre. My question for you is, what movie should I check out from that genre? What movie is your favorite from the Kung Fu genre? I cannot think of any off the top of my head that I have seen. And if I have seen it, it has been a very, very long time. So let me know, maybe if it's in the ShawScope set or any of the sets that I showed off today, that would definitely help me watch it right away. But if you have a favorite, let me know, because I'm very, very interested. And now it's time to give you a roundhouse kick out of here from ShawScope. Gah!